What's popular, YouTube? It's been 3 days. Another day, another demo. After we dropped our last video, the smash success that was Unlucky or Bad, we've decided to continue the series forward into what is now episode 2 of Unlucky or Bad with NiKo. This was an amazing map that we're going to watch with NiKo. One for the books, okay? It's not every day. It's not every week that you have Ziwoo and NiKo having bottom fragging maps at the same time. We zoned in on Ziwoo to see if it was the case that he was more unlucky or more bad. At the end of the video, I said bad because I felt like it was the only time we'd ever be able to call Ziwoo bad. In reality, I think like there was a lot of rounds where he was kind of unlucky. And I think what's going to be very interesting about this demo versus EG is not just the fact that he goes 5-20, but it's the fact that the game plan from EG was so damn good. He really came for their heads. They really came for his head, excuse me, in this game. So what do we know about NiKo? Well, a lot of conversations have been happening right now. I put out a tweet recently where I just said that, you know, if this is four events now, I think out of the 5 in total with Hunter, and Hunter in those 4 events are his worst 4 events in the whole year, excluding one charity event, which was 2 maps long. And, you know, from the outside, of course, there's only so much that we know for a fact, right? There's only so much we know for a fact. One is the stats that they show us, and 2 is, you know, what we see in the game, role changes, position changes and stuff. What we don't know so much about is communication. What we don't know about is, like, you know, atmosphere. What we don't know about is internal issues, maybe personal life issues that we just don't have access to that information. But we still have to make judgment calls, of course, you know, in terms of what we see and what we think is happening. And, you know, as well as anyone on this channel, before NiKo joined G2, I was a very big fan of G2 and wasn't sure if this move was technically going to be an upgrade. I'm on record saying this. And then after the first event, I said, I take it back. We look at their first event. Let's look at Hunter's events, okay? So we can give some context here. Here is Hunter in, you know, the last 12 months. And in the last 12 months, he had a fantastic year overall. And, you know, really, you know, the only time it's like 0, you know, he went +0 on these ones, and, you know, just clearly bad events here for the global finals as well as the fall finals. And here at the spring groups, it was good. And I mean, up until the end of this, it wasn't so hot, but things started to pick up a little bit here at the end, which is good. But all I would say is that, you know, after this event happened, which was the inaugural event with NiKo, I was saying, okay, you know, G2 have shown that NiKo works and that they have shown everything. You know, they prove that they can beat top teams, that everyone can frag at the same time. I think Omnek also had a great event. And then just all of a sudden, like, people started to fall off. You know, Kenny's a bit up and down. Omnek started to have bad events again when he was insane here, I think, at this first event. And then I think this event they played with Jax maybe, so there's an out for that one. But then it's like a couple of more here. That's a little bit strange. And so that's all we know, that, you know, NiKo's on another team, and the team has not clearly improved, and there are issues, and some of other people's stats are falling off. And I would just like to say that there's a couple of things here. Number one, I do not think that if NiKo joins your team, that you should shove him into bad spots. I don't think that you should compromise, or that they should do that at all. Every spot that he wants to play that he's the best at, he's probably going to be the best at on the whole team, and he should probably play that spot. I put NiKo in that very short list of players that I would say is above strategy, that can take over a map, can make it feel like there are 6 players in a default when there's only 5. I've talked about him a number of times here. But all I'm saying is that the results of the team do not show that since NiKo has come on, that the team has improved. That is the primary question I think people have with NiKo joining a roster, and with G2 in this example, and the fact that the stats are starting to align with this, you know, narrative that what is going on here, is this a question that we should be asking, is natural and normal and makes sense. But yeah, of course, stats also will drop whether or not he plays well because he's losing some of his spots. I think what we'll see, like with outside, for example, is NiKo is one of the best CTE outside players in the world. I mean, maybe the best. Maybe the best. Like, he's definitely the best rifler outside CT side in the world, and he handles it. He's fucking insane out there. But yeah, it's also a high frag location. And from my memory, G2 were splitting that position between sometimes plays with Nexa and Hunter, who would play mini, and Nexa, who would help them when they play outside, and they'd have a number of setups. But now it's a lot to do with NiKo, and it's a high frag location, so that's where a lot of the stats go. So, you know, you can change a spot around. Hunter stats might drop off if he moves spots. Doesn't mean he played bad that game, but stats are going to drop off a little bit. But if the stats drop off a little bit, and the results also drop off overall, and G2 are not a top fucking 2 team in the world, which they should be, then there has to be questions asked, and that's where this comes in. But the weird thing about this unlucky or bad is the fact that we're looking at NiKo get dumpstered when clearly the game plan is centered around trying to kill him. So that's what's going to be so fun about watching this demo. I'm very excited to go ahead and take a look at what happened. And I think that I didn't get to watch the whole game, only some of it. So I'm really curious how it's going to look from NiKo's perspective. And I think in the past when we've watched EG demos, or we've watched people versus EG in these demos, and they've always been very, very hard to read in terms of what they're going to do. And I'm really curious what this looks like from NiKo's perspective to see, how crazy this looks. How crazy this looks, where he only gets 5 kills and gets really stuffed outside. Well, you watched the ZywOo demo, there weren't any huge misses, right? There weren't giant, there wasn't like awkward movement, too much awkward movement. He looked a little bit brain foggy, but there wasn't like really bad sprays. There weren't like multiple tap shots missed or anything. He basically just got destroyed because Complexity were on point. Poison was out-opping him really, really fast, and he looked human, was basically the situation with ZywOo, but he didn't look like dog shit, which sometimes, a player's going to miss bad sprays and have unlucky rounds and, all of that stuff. So let's find out if that's going to be the case from NiKo, if he looks uncomfortable at all, or if it's deaths like that, where it feels like he cleared everything and then gets shot in the side of the head. That's what we're here to find out, basically, on unlucky or bad. So already off to round 1. I'm going to call it unlucky. There should be another word, though, as well. I mean, you could be unlucky, outplayed, or bad. Holy crap. You know what I mean? Like, give him time to shoot, maybe. And I'm serious. I think the series is going to turn into a way to recuse people of all of the kind of ways that they die when they get when it's just a tough map. I mean, sometimes you just get destroyed every round. And when you boil it down, there aren't that many rifle rounds. And yeah, you can get lucky for kind of a whole half. So here, I mean, he got absolutely destroyed. Is he bad? I don't know. Is he unlucky? I don't know. Maybe we do need a third word. Outplayed? Outplayed, I guess. Slow. I mean, maybe it'd be more fun if it's just unlucky or bad. I don't know. But so far, okay, maybe we'll say 1 unlucky, 1 bad, okay? Destroyed on 1 peak. There it is. Breeze 3-0 on NiKo, okay? Bad. We'll go with bad on that one. Maybe not so much unlucky. Breeze is an absolute tank right now. Everywhere NiKo goes, Breeze is right there. He's like a stand. He's a stand. Okay, now we've got a bit of squeaky pressure. We've got paranoia outside. See, NiKo's kind of taking a small risk here by not spotting everything outside, but he knows they haven't come off onto the top of mini. Now he's here watching the cross. He sees a crack. He's gathering information. He doesn't have support here. And oh my god, he gets destroyed. Where did Ethan come from? I don't know if I was talking too loud, but I didn't even hear that. And Tarek flashed him in. That's a beautiful play from EG. Look how insane they look right now. How do these guys ever lose a match? Could we call it bad? I mean, he got destroyed. So I think this would be a good way. Unlucky? Okay, maybe we'll go unlucky for that one. I didn't even know, like, Ethan, that was literally a hair gel peak. Did you see that? That was insane how quickly he came out. Tarek's flash, too. I mean, it just all became too much. Now, you could say there is the argument also that it was already too late for anything good to have come of that round, right? So that's the other thing we don't see. One thing here is that NiKo is inside of mini. We've got cross smokes outside. We have pressure. We have squeaky stuff. We have no support in big garage. No one watching from heaven. NiKo all alone in mini. And all the while, what's happening? The T's are getting more and more map control. So at a certain point, you don't really have an easy way to get a kill or to a way to exercise prophylaxis. You can't actually do anything past a certain point. And that's why what we don't see is what NiKo could have done, you know, or could have had a teammate with him to help him do. If there's going to take full outside control, maybe they either give it up completely, go for secret, play outside big garage, play inside heaven, play behind bread, that kind of thing. But what we see instead is NiKo inside mini and EG slowly mounting this attack on mini and putting so much pressure on that he feels like he's crippled. He can't even move. But at that point, it's already too late. What needed to be done to stop and to help in that situation was to be in a different spot, rotate earlier, call for assistance, make an aggressive play for information, play in somewhere else. And part of that can be EG knowing how to attack NiKo in his favorite positions or knowing where he's going to rotate to by watching his demos, or them just getting lucky and just putting an attack down on mini and not even thinking about where NiKo is in the first place. Just thinking they wanted to come through with this nasty attack. But so far, I mean, he hasn't even had a chance to shoot back. They've been absolutely crazy shots on NiKo, and what looks like some really good plays here from EG. It's really, seriously, it's not. I think it's really good to do these because it'll give you some perspective, especially watching in what's a pseudo POV demo with no X-ray on. It's kind of insane. We can watch and see how insane some of the peaks are at this level, right? How little time you have to actually react, how little information you get before you enter into a fight. And what we're missing is, of course, all the while there's some good communication going on between G2 NiKo and his teammates, and Jinko Jeans. And that's also helping influencing his decisions and like where he feels comfortable in sitting. But here there's nothing to do, it looks like. Except for save, we take the AK, we move forward, and now we're back into mini. Okay, there's some outside pressure and some squeaky pressure again. For EG, this looks like the exact same attack. So let's see if there's the exact same response. I think we might have, Kenny S, one of his favorite spots, opping from the outside of heaven. NiKo spotting the cross. There's no attack on mini right now, and we also had Kenny S spotting the cross outside to help him in front of on the cross in front of mini if it did come to it. But at this point, we've got NiKo, one of his more powerful positions, just downstairs, ready for this execute. And we could see he tried to be very careful about when he would actually execute rotate, and has picked a good time to do it. So it looks like they're going to come towards him. And now this angle, he's waiting for a boost, or if they came close enough. And off the fire, he takes a few shots. He falls back. This is fine. I think, so far so good for NiKo. He's gotten down in time. He's gotten info. He's right about the site that it's going to be most likely. Now, the only rotation that can really mess up this setup for G2 is if EG, do some kind of vent split to upper. But if you're feeling pretty confident right now that we've seen 2 or 3 people, and it's probably going to be lower, and it looks like it will be, then they're in a good spot. So he set up well to get a kill, but I'll be honest, I didn't see Ethan. I don't know where he was, and I don't know how NiKo died, and I don't know. I honestly have no idea where even. I don't even know where I don't even know. That I have no idea. He has no chance, basically. He has absolutely no chance. I mean, that is a matter of he's in the right. NiKo's in the right location for this execute, ready with a teammate watching. His teammate gets a kill. He has the info. He's just checking between a couple of positions because they can jump out of the window because they smoked off Kenny. But that's normal for him to do. He looks down, and I guess maybe Ethan pops out of control. And, do we feel bad for NiKo? Maybe we should, because that was, pretty ridiculous. He's getting one bulleted. Hair gel peek again from Ethan here, coming out of control room. Now, here's a spot where you can get cleared from the top of mini. If they go to the edge of it, they'll be able to see you. It's nice to potentially catch someone in the back of mini, though, if they don't hard clear it. But I don't know. This spot is not very good because even if you go outside and they slowly clear you, they'll be able to see you before you can see them at all. So it's kind of a gimmick, but, it's a pistoling round, so it's not a big deal. So let's see what EG do if they can find him or not. And he'll actually open his eyes up, see that nobody is even outside, and now be somewhat suspicious that they maybe have walked across lower, but instead I think it's an upstairs hit. They've got the late lurk outside. Stanislaw pops out. Surprise, motherfucker. From the back of mini and takes NiKo down. And There it is. It's pretty much the first bullet that NiKo's even been able to shoot in the last 4 rounds. He ends up dying. Come on, let's get a rifle versus rifle duel. We have 0 big whiffs. We have 0 big whiffs here from NiKo. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, there it is. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. There it is. There it is. And this is where NiKo's like... This is where NiKo's like... he does like the eye rolling thing, and he's like, oh, and then everyone goes, oh, NiKo, he's ruining the atmosphere. He's getting so tilted. Wouldn't you be tilted? Wouldn't you be tilted? Holy shit. They literally found him. You know, actually, what's so insane about that is he hadn't played that spot once. He hadn't played that spot once so far this half, and they never threw the triple nades. What I expected when I watched this game was that he was going to have played that spot once before, had some success, and then they triple naded him. They literally read the right round that he went there and threw those nades because they thought that that would be the adjustment, and they didn't throw those nades right yet this half. I mean, they threw some outside stuff. Did they throw those nades already? I don't think they did. That might have been the first time I think that they threw those nades. Maybe they didn't. I'm not sure. Maybe they did, because they did throw some outside stuff before. They're doing the squeaky pressure and outside. But I don't think I saw them throw the grenades. Maybe they did. Okay, a great shot from NiKo. 1 second to react. Finally, he gets a kill. That's his first of the half. And it's with a deagle. So on the rifles, he's just been completely owned. There it is. Completely owned. Tough stuff. Wow, he gets a kill to get a round. Direct correlation. NiKo is not the problem. There we go. That's what we've learned. And, I mean, when you watch the games, like, you can see it's not like he's playing his spots badly or like, having too much trouble. Usually he can dominate outside. Watch the demo we did, NiKo versus Art, and see how many times one man can die to NiKo. NiKo's on the T side attacking outside, and that shows you how much value NiKo can add to it. Can add to a map. That demo right there. Watch the demo we did on NiKo versus Art outside. All right, here we take a lot of damage. I think maybe Breeze lurking in Squeaky, putting some shots down. And here's a spot where you can just die. I mean, you can have the tightest crack peek, but it's too dangerous to sit here just because 15 HP, they're going to crouch peek, pre-fire you, and there's no way that you can win. So right to the headshot angle, we go for NiKo, and this gives him some space to react and also makes it so that it's 15 health is 100 health if it's a headshot angle. Also kind of hard to hit in general, so, we'll see what happens. But maybe it's an upstairs play. Unfortunately, sucks to be NiKo in this position when it's an upstairs play. But it looks like he's got 2 players in the back turn. Breeze will catch him and take him down. They get the player upstairs. The only way that works out for NiKo is if his teammate gets a kill upstairs, then at least they're focusing forward for a second, and then he can sneak out. But, see, he wasn't trying to bait there. I think that's something to point out, that, like, they aren't necessarily, like, I think, back in the days, I think I was looking at some simple games, some NiKo games, and like some other players or whatever, and say like, oh, they're like baiting, or like they're baiting and it's not very impactful. But I really don't see that from either of them anymore, to be honest. I mean, there's a situation where he's just literally trying to become a part of the execute and taking a risk to help out with his team. And yeah, it just doesn't work out because his teammate needs to get a kill upstairs. It's an unfavorable rotation to come up the vent in that way. But instead of just waiting there and doing nothing, he actually did try to come up. So, okay. Free skills. NiKo, again, was he a 5-1? 5-0? I don't think NiKo has won a single duel versus Breeze so far. That's pretty much just been lights out from Breeze's perspective, but that was almost in the save, so we kind of skipped past it. Okay, outside smokes once again, a little bit of squeaky pressure. This is what you like to see. We're not really doing too much different here for G2. We're not playing inside of secret. We're not having Kenny op. They're not doing anything really, interesting, I guess, from G2's perspective. There's no triple setup outside, pushing up. There's no pushing up at all. We've been kind of one-dimensional. I think that's the one criticism I'll have for NiKo for this game, is that it's been kind of one-dimensional. Like we're kind of just like roaming around, looking for fights, sitting in front of Mini. Getting Honda peaked, dying, whatever. But I'm surprised he hasn't pushed up once. He hasn't played close to, He hasn't played close to back of Mini. He's only gone to the inside red one time and then got triple naded and never done anything like it again. But He's never disrespected the smokes outside on the cross, just rotated standard. Yeah, it's just kind of uninspired play, I think, is the only thing that I'm kind of surprised about with seeing this demo. And I think one thing is that it's not all about him. You know, it doesn't have to be. Like, the call can also be for NiKo and a teammate or 3 people or something to attack outside to try to get the kills early. They haven't tried that. They've really just let the rounds happen to them. And, yeah, that's the part where I don't know whose fault that is. Is that NiKo's fault for saying, I got this, or is it Nex's fault for not calling anything interesting, or is it both of their faults for not communicating and talking through ideas and problems and solutions and just ending up doing the exact same thing every round? That's a big question. So I think he was hoping he didn't get spotted, but maybe he did. And it doesn't look like there'll be much success here to find as we come to the end of the half. And yeah, we just haven't seen much variety. I mean, it's been pretty boring to be honest, to spectate this. We're going to have a rifle round again, which is awesome. And we'll see how he plays off of it. I mean, it is definitely time to make something happen here. And what they were trying before wasn't working. So here we actually flash for the peak. All right, that's something. Maybe we call that a little bit bad. Okay, finally, like a clear, potentially bad. I don't know. Lots of unluckies. Can we call that one a bad? Maybe a little bit bad. Maybe at this point he has no confidence. I don't know. He just gets out-dueled. He was looking for the fight. He wanted it. He didn't win. But he's alone. That's how he wanted to approach it. It didn't work out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got the story. Not a great performance so far. I think that that round kind of drives that in a little bit, and a little bit uninspired, not so great. A little bit unlucky, definitely a little bit unlucky. We can't finish this demo and say that it wasn't a little bit unlucky. It was definitely a little bit unlucky. Let's be reasonable, guys. But yeah, it's been a losing game, so the minimum amount of rifle rounds, Deagle basically half the time. He's gotten destroyed by Breeze basically 5 times in a row. And there he finally tries to do something different, then he gets punished. Okay, we can say that's bad as well. That's it. I think that's not so great. But I think honestly, we have 2 clear bads, maybe. 2 clear bads, a little bit of whiffs there. A few unluckies, completely destroyed. It's sort of a mixed bag. I think the most negative thing about this is the uninspired play. I think that's the main takeaway for me personally. It makes me want to watch NiKo, you know, farming CT side Nuke and seeing how he plays mini outside and seeing, you know, when he's feeling very like kind of clear-headed and confident and stuff, like what's he going to do? Is he going to be a bit more proactive? Are we going to have more variety in the spots? Are we going to have setups called that are not just him by himself outside? Are we going to actually have like, you know, Kenny S doing something different, top of like big garage peak or off a red or something? Kenny S was just always in heaven. NiKo was just always in mini. Like they weren't really doing anything. Evil Geniuses were working hard that whole game. This whole game, they were doing lots of cool stuff and making it very unclear as to what they were trying to do. So yeah, that was that's it. And I remember this total patience. Tarek is sitting down there in the vent. I actually can't remember who wins this round, but it should be Tarek. Oh no, it isn't. This is so big brain by Almanac. So he reads this perfectly. The door's open on control, and he literally walks into dark, I think, and kills Tarek here. I remember watching this. Yeah, this is, oh, he sees his gun completely. What the fuck? How did he see his gun so well there? I thought he was tucked the whole time. Wait, what? Wait, what the hell? He saw his gun the whole time? I was watching, I remember seeing that from Tarek's perspective. I'm like, oh, Almanac's gonna push him. And then, but I don't remember seeing the gun so well. Like, it was just sticking out so much. Yeah, did he move? I feel like he didn't, but maybe he did. Yeah, I guess he caught it unlucky timing there. It looked like a read when I saw it when we were watching the game. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that one. Welcome back to episode 2 of Unlucky or Bad. Chat, any last words? This video's over. Bad, unlucky. Can we just get a one word answer? Bad, unlucky. Bad, unlucky, unlucky, bad. A couple bads. Unlucky, unlucky. Bad. Okay. All right. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you again. A couple days. Another YouTube video every day, live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/launders. Live 24 hours a day. Pull up.